Counter-Strike is a game where you can play on many different types of settings, including resolution, crosshair, sensitivity, and other video settings. And today I want to make a video talking about the settings that you should be avoiding, because at the end of the day, like I said, everyone's going to enjoy playing on different things, but it's very bad to play on specific settings inside of this game. And today I'm going to give you some tips, some tricks that are going to help you avoid playing on these bad settings, ruining your game and making you a worse player. So we want to avoid that, and we want to make sure you have the best chance possible to be on an even playing field with all of your competitors. But first, let me teach you how to get on an even playing field with all of the skin collectors out there in Counter-Strike 2. Thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Skins Monkey. They are one of the greatest and easiest to use CS2 trading sites out there. You can swap out the skins you do not like for brand new ones that are so much more fresh. Even skins that are trade locked can be secured by adding them to your backpack. The greatest thing about this site is that you can buy skins for so much cheaper with a 35% deposit bonus when you use my code COJO. Make sure to check out the freebie section where you can get a free skin just by completing tasks. On top of the bonuses, you also get a $5 bonus when clicking the link in the description. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do here is hop over into our settings menu. Any new player can find this right here. Just click on the cogwheel, it's very easy. And the first thing we're going to do is go over to video. So now at the end of the day, every pro plays on different, video settings, resolution, all these things. The first thing I want you to avoid is playing on low hertz for no reason. And I would actually recommend for those of you out there to at least get a 144 hertz, if not a 240 hertz monitor to play Counter-Strike on. If you're playing on anything lower than that, you are hurting yourself at the end of the day, and I would really push for a 240 hertz monitor. Now, as far as the specific aspect ratio goes, literally you can't go wrong with any of these, 4x3, 16x9, and 16x10. For most players out there though, I would recommend playing on stretched. I would avoid playing on black bars. It's possible to do. Those of you that are older players out there might prefer it, but those young kids out there, newer people getting in the game, just play on stretched or play on native, and it'll make your life a lot simpler. As far as resolutions go, I would say the thing to absolutely avoid is playing on really, really low resolutions, like 640 by 480, whatever that is. Like, I don't even know these resolutions because they're so bad. 1176 by 664. Just avoid these really low resolutions. It's just literally not worth it. You're not going to be able to see anything. It's going to be unenjoyable. And if you want any future in content and things like that, it's just going to make your game look so bad. No one's going to watch you. Now, as far as the specific advanced video settings, that you literally could do so many things with this. The one thing that I would 100% avoid is playing on low shadows, because what it's going to do is make it so that you actually can't see the shadows of players when you play on super low shadow settings. So I don't care how bad your PC is, I don't care what you're running on, make sure you have your shadow settings on high. The rest of this stuff you can kind of mess with. It doesn't really matter. Pros play on everything different for this. I would say though, for this fidelity super resolution, I would have this disabled if I were you. When I put this on performance and stuff, it makes the game look unbelievably horrible, and I would not recommend playing on it at all. Now let's move on to some other settings here for audio. Just make sure you have everything normal. Like I said, we're going to go through bad settings here, so I'm not going to tell you what you need to do. I have a settings video on my channel that goes over all of this. As far as all this stuff goes though, I would kind of just copy this. There's not really anything really bad you can do. I would say make sure if you're actually trying to play seriously, your music is very low. So like your MVP volume's low or off. The round end music is low, because if you have these really high, it becomes very hard to hear things like footsteps, people talking, and just the overall, it's just unneeded noise that's going to make your life harder inside of the game. Now, speaking of game, let's go over to game settings. You have to have enabled developer console on. That's going to allow you to pull this up, because without this, if you have this on no, you are hurting yourself. Learn how to use the console. There's so many commands that you can do in here, but they are making it noob friendly, so you're going to be able to just use everything in here. Now, I want you guys to subscribe to the channel, because over 90% of my viewers are not subscribed. If you found this video helpful so far, that would help me out a lot. So with your HUD, I'd say one thing that it's kind of preference, but I would just really recommend having is where's it at here? Where's it at? Maybe I can't find it. I don't know. I would say have this on no, the large player count, because I think when you have the actual icons, if you can see up here, where it shows the actual icon of the players, it's so valuable because it tells you exactly which players are alive. It's totally preference. I'm not going to try to convince you guys too hard, but having this on no is a beneficial thing, because if not, it's just going to be a number up here. and it's really hard to tell, and you're gonna have to press tab to see specifically who is alive for each team. As far as the other stuff, it doesn't really matter too much. You can't really go wrong. It's not going to make or break your game. But speaking of make or break, item though is going to do this. So delay sniper rifle, you have to have this on no. Auto resume, you have to have this on yes. Detach doesn't matter. Your view model position doesn't matter. But these two settings are so vital for being able to use the op. I would say keep your first person tracers on. This is going to allow you to see where your shots are going. But it's not a must-use command. You could win either way without it. Other than that, some of this other stuff is whatever. I'd say always show inventory. I say playing without it is such a huge disadvantage. So have your inventory on. There's no reason not to have that. And then as far as your crosshair goes, guys, I made a video teaching you what the perfect crosshair is. There's not necessarily like a wrong crosshair per se, but just make sure you have something that is going to be able to allow you to see clearly, and it doesn't take up too much space on your screen, because at the end of the day you're trying to see past your crosshair. And if you have something that's really distracting, or you can't see your crosshair at all, it's going to make it a lot harder for you to find, you know, easy frags and just win engagements that you should be winning. So you can't go wrong with crosshair, but until you can. So it sounds confusing, but just really don't overthink that, and just use a standard crosshair, and don't troll yourself. Let's go ahead and move on to the last section here, keyboard and mouse. Please keep reverse mouse off. You know, this other stuff, whatever. Make sure 100% you do not have repeat disabled. Have this on enabled, and it'll allow you to keep scoping. So without that, you're not going to be able to do what I'm going to show you. You're not going to be able to do this. Instead, it's going to look like this. It's so annoying. You have to have that on. If you don't, it's just gonna make you so much worse. Please, if you're a new player especially, just choose a good sensitivity. I made a video, like I said, I make videos on this channel of lots of tips and tricks on what the best sensitivities are and stuff. Please just play on something standard, and don't mess with your zoom sensitivity. You know, some pros have it changed a bit, but ultimately, guys, it's just gonna mess you up. At the end of the day, choose a sensitivity and keep to it, because with the zoom sensitivity multiplier, it's gonna make it so your sensitivity while scoped is different than while you're like unscoped with rifles and other things. Please, like, it's not worth it. You guys will play so much better if you just literally have this at 1.0. So again, just another setting I would really strongly recommend that you you know, have. And another thing, I would recommend having jump bound to both scroll wheel in some sort of way, and also your jump key. It's just very useful to allow your movement to be good. And also make sure you have your grenades bound to specific keys. If you don't have that, you are hurting your chance at winning. If you're sitting here cycling through your grenades like this, you're just literally trolling yourself. Like, it's so bad, guys. You have to have these bound to different keys, so I can pull out smoke, I can pull out a molly, I can pull out a flash with just the click of one key versus scrolling. It's gonna make your life so much easier. Other than that, guys, a lot of the stuff is just preference. In Counter-Strike, you have the freedom to make your own config, feel things out, do all these kind of cool things. I would say also just creating a good view model. For me, I'll show you my view model settings briefly here. Is very good. It's, again, all preference. You're not going to make or break, but I'd say that please don't is having a view model in the very center of your screen where it looks like Quake. I know there's some players that play with it, there's some successful players, but at the end of the day, it's preference, but like 99% of pros have a normal-ish view model, I'd say, where it's not in the middle of the screen. So avoid that as far as that goes. But yeah, ultimately it's up to you. You guys choose your own destiny. I'm here to provide you tips and tricks, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Make sure to check me live on twitch.tv/CoJimoCS. I'm live very frequently. You guys can you know, ask me some questions live, and I can give you some good answers. So appreciate every single one of you guys watching these videos. Let's keep grinding. Thank you all for the support. I'll catch you later, and check out these videos on your screen right now.